Hey guys, what's up? Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it.
Please like, subscribe, share with your mates, and enjoy the episode.
So, it's another episode of Flipside. I'm currently out some yogurt and nuts. That's something I'm trying out. I did the research because I have the same breakfast every morning, oats and bananas. And this morning was a Sunday. I was like, let's mix it up. I visited my sister. I had a bite of her food. She had toast and avocado with salt. So nice. And I was, oh damn, this is so nice. I want to go eat some chips. And all of a sudden my morning routine was thrown off because I was just distracted. I was eating chips. I was eating this nice food. And now it's just like whack. And I realized the importance of having that just same breakfast where just like routine, you're not like spiking your dopamine levels where you're like now craving for other sort of sources of that dopamine hit. And I was like, what if I just have the same lunch every single day? Did some research, and basically everything I saw was like yogurt and nuts seemed to like pop up a lot as like a good productive lunch. And I made some yogurt and nuts for the first time today, and it's surprisingly filling. I thought it wouldn't be filling, but I'm full eating it.
I can't do that. I can't have the same lunch every single day. I can't have the same breakfast every single day. I can't do it. I don't know how you're able to do it. Don't you wouldn't you want some creativity in your life after that? Because it just starts getting mundane. What if you like do it for like on a weekly rotating basis where like you have 1 week where you have the same thing, next week you have another thing, and it's just as healthy as each other. That way you're mixing it up, keeping it spicy. Like I can see what you mean, but it's like I can't have that discipline to do that. But look, today is what is it? I suck at dates. The dates don't even mean anything to me anymore. I just know what day it is. It's so bad. Today's Sunday. It's the 15th of August. It's currently 3:40 p.m. Episode 48. So close to 52. So close to 1 year. But yeah, like going back into it, I don't know. I can't do that. I don't know how you're doing it. You just sound like a robot, and it is scaring me because I can't do that.
I was contemplating wearing the same clothing every day, Krishn.
Oh my god, no. Okay, no, this is where we need to nip it in the bud, and we need to stop that one. No, okay, talk me through it. Why? What?
So, I do spend a bit of mental energy picking what I wear. But I have formulated where I just pick whatever's at the end of the sort of rack. Get the jacket. So that's a jacket I haven't worn in a while. So there's like a rotation system, and I just pair things with that jacket. But I have to think how like amazing just having the same breakfast is. I was like, what if I have the same lunch? What if I have to just wear the same clothing every day? And like people like Steve Jobs, same clothing every day. Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg is just like plain blue shirt and jeans. That's his outfit. And they all do it for a reason. I'm getting to a point where my brain only has limit for like so many things, and it's full, it's overfilled, and every single little thing, it makes a difference. I don't have a metaphor, but let me get your thoughts on what I'm saying, Krishn, and I'll formulate it on my mind while you're talking.
My biggest thing is I'm listening to this and I'm thinking, oh god, like I have a friend, right? So one of my friends, he said the same thing where, not same thing, but something similar where he's like, in the morning when he wakes up, he doesn't like to have like an extravagant breakfast or whatever. Like he just has Weet Bix and milk and nothing else in it, just Weet Bix and milk. He said he just woke up, he doesn't like deserve something fancy or extravagant. He just needs breakfast is just the meal of the day where you just energize yourself and you get your nutrients in, and that's it. You don't need to like enjoy yourself. And then like me and my other mates were just like, you sound like an actual psychopath right now. Like that psychopathic tendency. Like for me, it's like, it's individualism. It's your creativity. It speaks a lot about you, having a dress sense or having same clothes. Like I see what you're trying to say in the sense of all these big famous people wear the same clothes. But for me, like, or like entrepreneurs, all these big famous entrepreneurs, the big baddies, they always wear the same clothes. And like, I can understand like from that point of view, like, okay, they all do it. There's a reason why they do it. Maybe there's a method to the madness, but at the same, and like you're saying, your brain can only fit so many thoughts and everything into it. But I think the clothes that you wear are an extension of your personality in the sense that they're an outlet for your creativity as well. I'm not saying that like, if you're not a creative person if you don't wear if you don't have like a unique dress sense or everything. Even if you just have like what you're wearing now, like a normal sweater pants and everything. Like depending on the occasion, obviously you style your fit, but at the same, like it's one of those things where it just makes you as like a person, like differentiates you. And like, you know, if it's one of those things where it's like, you know, I'm not saying it has to be design or everything. It's just like, I don't know. I just can't wrap my brain around it, only because I think it's a big thing into one's personality, to one's person and everything. The food as well. I don't know. Talk to me.
So I agree with the clothing. That's something I haven't settled on because I haven't thought about it enough, and I don't have a like counter argument. And until I do, then it's worth doing. But right now I'm like, yeah, I see what you mean, and it makes sense. It doesn't take too much energy to put together what to wear, and you don't want to be wearing the same thing because now you just look bland. Food end of things, I'm starting to get to a point where food is just like fuel and energy. It takes a lot of time because I was thinking, man, I would love to wake up and try like eating sunny side up eggs, scrambled eggs, freaking avocado toast, wheat bix, cereal with Cocoa Puffs. Like that would be amazing, but just thinking of the time that would take me each morning, yes, it's pretty quick. It's like 10, 15, 20 minutes, but there's like a lot of knock-on effects when you sort of do those things. But when you have something really simple, my morning routine is just perfect. I have like a perfect morning routine. And that's, but of course, I would love to have something different every morning. Like, you know, actually, the next step is probably getting a chef, and I'll be able to mix it up. That's it. I won't be eating the same thing every single day when I get a chef.
I actually didn't realize, like, even YouTubers, they all have chefs that, like, I don't think they live with them, but they come in every morning and they just like, you know, cook them food and everything. And like, I didn't realize as to like they can do that, because at the same time, if you think about it, like for them, if they don't have the chef, they're just going to be eating junk all the time. At least the chef can cook them nutritious meals, etc. Like, yeah, like if you get a chef, then it makes sense. But I get what you're trying to say in the sense that knock-on effects is like you make eggs, you got to have a pan, you either oil or butter your pan, you chuck the eggs in, you put everything else in it as well, and then after that you clean up, and it pisses everyone off. Even sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I feel like eggs today, and I think about everything else I have to do after. I'm like cleaning up and scrubbing and everything. I'm like, no, I'll have toast. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things. I get it, but at the same time, if I keep having the same thing again and again and again, it's good discipline, and it's, you know, it's good nutritional value, you know, having the same breakfast again and again. But I think if you rotate it on like a fortnightly or a weekly basis, it could like be better as opposed to just having one every single day. Because it's not like, I mean, I guess if you are, what do they call it? If you're meal prepping and everything, everyone does that, but even they switch it up. I don't know. I can't. So you like, what are you going to stick to for your breakfast? What are you thinking of sticking on?
Oh, so over the last year, it's even a bit, actually over the last year, oats and bananas. That's how the last year is looking like. Lunch, I'll just eat whatever leftover I have from the night before. And I'm going to try the sort of oats and, nuts and yogurt. Now, I don't mean to be rude and eating in the middle of a podcast, but I did this purposely because I wanted to like share another story. Where like today my schedule's probably like, I'm behind and things are just being knocked on because I was asking one of my old friends, I was asking for tips on how to hire more developers, because he knows a bit about code and he's hired a lot of developers from overseas. And I was like, yeah, can I book in some time with you to talk? And he calls me directly. Usually I don't pick up calls in the middle of the day because it just stuffs up my whole routine, but beggars can't be choosers. I asked for help and I picked up the call and I was able to learn a lot. And yes, it did stuff up my routine, and yes, I am now eating lunch in the middle of a podcast. But I think that's something people don't realize. Like when you're asking for someone's help, you can't choose. But it's weird how a lot of people ask for help, but they're like, they try to be cool about it and still have like their ego and pride. But when you're asking for help, you shouldn't have any of that.
I think we've talked about it before as well, where it's like, if you're the one asking for help, like I think you're putting yourself out there, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, you shouldn't have an ego problem. You shouldn't. I mean, I can understand where like, you know, you planned your day and everything, and then he calls you straight away as opposed to booking the call. I can get it, but Was the call beneficial? Did it work out?
Yeah, it
Yes.
was definitely worked out. Ideally, it would have been cool if we could just book in a call and have a set time, but I'm asking for help. I can't choose. And that's like something that even I, like, even though I am at a situation where like I control my time, but when I ask for help, even someone like me, I don't complain with the situation. I take what I can get.
If someone asks you for help as well, and they're like, can I book you in a call with you? And like the only free time you had is there and then, like, just get it out of your plate, get it out of the way. Otherwise, you'd have to try and book in a slot. Then you look into the future. Like, if you have, just get it out of the way there and then. You know what I mean? So I get it, but it's like, it worked out. You know, was the call good? It worked out. Sweet.
Most
How'd it
definitely.
go though? Like, so what are you thinking of? What was the call for? Like, what do you think of doing in the business?
So right now I'm trying to get more developers and grow out the development team. I don't know enough about code and development, but I was able to learn the pros and cons, the ways to hire, if it's worth learning about code. And the conclusion I went to is, one, I should just like increase my sort of starting salary. Two, I should just put up a job listing on like more broader freelancing websites like Upwork and just put up a job listing for what I'm looking for. Three, I'm pretty confident if I just keep asking questions, keep learning from different people, that I'll be able to get to a point where I'll be able to not be finessed because I don't know much about development. But I think it takes a lot of time, because I think I can spend 12 months, 2 years to learn how to code, but the pros of that do not outweigh the 2 years I lost. Because by doing that now, you just sort of don't let people pull the rug over you, but you're still hiring people, you're not doing any coding at all. And if that's the only outcome, I think I could learn how to not let people pull the rug over me without needing to learn code. And that was the third conclusion.
You could like have like someone that you really, really trust as one of your staff. If you trust them a lot, then you wouldn't need to feel like they're pulling the rug over you. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point, I guess, of hiring people. Trust and understanding that they won't, pull the rug over you, blindside or whatever. Like, it's one of those things. But at the end of the day, you could totally just watch a few YouTube videos just to start yourself off. But then the YouTube videos only go to the basics. And then, if you're having discussions about something that's quite more in-depth, then yeah, I can see what you mean. But I personally don't think it's worth trying to learn how to code when you got people that can do it for you. It's long. It is long. You know what I mean? Like, no way.
I agree. Another thing I recently discovered, and this is like a huge eye-opener, and everything just made sense through my life. I've noticed that noobs, or like the average person, or the person who thinks they're sort of the successful one, they make what they do sound so complicated and hard to understand. Whereas the really successful people make what they do sound so simple and easy. And it just like clicked recently, where like I was talking to someone who has like this small sort of setup, they have a few employees, and they're using all these weird technical terms, and I'm just asking and breaking it down, and I'm trying to understand how they set everything up. In my mind I was like, this is much easier than it sounds, but when you first portrayed it to me, I didn't understand what the hell was going on, and because you use all these fancy terms, and now I'm digging into it, it's just like really basic. Whereas people like, for example, my mentor Tony, he freaking makes what he does seem super easy when I know for sure it's not that easy. Like when he has 100 people, I'm like, so how do you like manage everyone? He's like, yeah, I just, each sector manages their own people. I was like, do you have like HR? How do you hire? He was like, yeah, like we need to hire someone in that sector. Whoever manages that sector just hires that person. Like whoever does what. And I was like, what the hell? But he just makes it sound easy. And like I probably do the same thing. Like when you talk to me, like you're able to like understand things when I explain it, hopefully. And hopefully I don't make what my setup seems, I don't make it seem too complicated, but that's a new eye-opener I recently discovered.
Like a measuring contest. Because they just want to like slap their huge on the table. At the end of the day, it's ego as well. You know what I mean? Like a lot of things come into play when you're discussing things, especially when it's like someone's business like that. You can understand that they'd just be like a little bit reluctant. I mean, it goes back to ages ago when you're talking about, people on the same level or people that are like a lot higher than you. People a lot higher don't see you as competition, and they'll be more likely to divulge into their business, into their, operations or whatever. Whereas you ask someone else around your area, bro, it's immediate, guns out, it's on site, it's fully on site, and then that's it. You know what I mean? So it's like, again, you're fighting between two levels, but I mean, yeah, 100%. I can always understand exactly what you're saying. Well, yeah, it's not like I can't understand, but I can understand that it's also a lot more complex and complicated than you allow it.
And you probably like experience the same in corporate, where certain people, when you ask them what they do, they just break it down to like this simple job, but they're doing pretty well. And there's people who like just make their job seem like they're working for the government or CIA or something.
Oh, 100% Secret Services and everything. it's like if you just doing something big, like what's it like LinkedIn's the best because LinkedIn has those best ones. Like you have some people, their LinkedIn profiles are just hilarious. Like past work experience, like there's so many memes, right? LinkedIn memes for professional teens or something like that. There's a whole Facebook page. Oh, I deleted Facebook, by the way. So I deleted like just the app on my phone. I haven't gone to Facebook in like a week. Anyway, so that the basic meme is literally like someone say works in Macca's or Hungry Jack's or whatever, and they're just flipping burgers. Burger connoisseur, hamburger artist, a artisan professional styling burgers. Bro, you flip burgers in the weekend, you know what I mean? Or it's like, obviously you need to add a thick layer of mayo, have a fat cappuccino as well, you know what I mean? Like you got to add some cappuccino to some of the things that you do, but add it in a way that it's still relevant and it's not like you're not lying about it. So like, in a previous role, say you're liaising with directors of companies that are like ASX 200 listed, and really you're just like on a client, on site at a client who is part of an ASX 200 listed organization, and they are the director, but really you're just chatting shit, or you're not really talking to them, and you're not really doing anything with them, but you kind of did, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that makes sense. Whereas there's a lot of mayo and there's a lot of fat cappuccino out there. You're 100% right. Like it's so hilarious to see as well, because you can go on LinkedIn and you can see the people that like they have the really professional titles, and you just take phone calls all day, or you just do this all day. Like, like I have nothing against that. Like a job is a job. If you have a job, especially nowadays in the pandemic, it's something to be grateful for, you know what I mean? Like it's one of those things where it's so hard to come by. People are being made redundant and everything. Like it's fine. But don't oversell it or don't over-exaggerate. I don't know, but yeah, 100%. I 100% understand what you mean.
Talking about the recession and COVID, that's something I want to go down. But before we go down that, tell me about the 7 days Facebook detox. What made you want to uninstall it? How has it been? Tell me about it.
Oh, so what day is it in our lockdown? It's like, I swear we've hit nearly 50 days in lockdown. It's been more than a month, all of July, all of August. That's what, 28 times 2, like something, 50 something.
Quick question. Right? So since I lost my Facebook account, so I don't really know, but does the average person use Facebook quite oftenly on top of Instagram, Snapchat, etc.? Or is Facebook now dead and no one uses Facebook?
I think in our generation, people are still using it. Older generations use it more, but I think it is slowly dying down. Like the generation like underneath us, the ones that had mobile phones where they were in primary school, I think it's all Snapchat for them. But yeah, like, because, we're in COVID, we're day 50, and I'm like, some days I just have nothing to do. I've read a book, I haven't actually gone on a walk or gone on a jog. I was going to go on a jog today, but maybe after we film this, right? But like I've done everything on the day, and suddenly I'm just finding myself scrolling between Instagram, Facebook, and whatever. And I just stopped. I'm like, why am I doing this? This is stupid. So I just like, you know what? I deleted Facebook. I deleted LinkedIn off my phone as well, because LinkedIn was just a little bit toxic in my head. Like it's not. I'm not saying it's toxic. It's just in my head it's toxic because I look at other people and then immediately start comparing or immediately start like thinking bad negative
Good
thoughts.
question.
Like
On LinkedIn, do you get like so my team posts a lot on my LinkedIn account. I don't use. Do you see them? Do they go to your feed?
I did. Yeah, because I follow you.
Are they like every day? Since like my team is posting every day, do you get them every day?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love how you didn't know and you're just like shit. They're posting every day. There was one of them I saw the other day. Wait, let me just double check really quickly.
Now it's like LinkedIn really popular. Do people actually use LinkedIn like just to scroll throughout every day? Like randomly check LinkedIn 10 minutes?
I wouldn't say as much as like other social media. But like there is like a news feed that you go and so I'm like, yeah, I see yours. That was today. Andy, 9 hours ago. What drives you to continue to push forwards towards success? So no engagement on that one yet, but I saw a few the other day that had some engagement on it.
Really?
They were just asking questions about how they can get in contact with you. However,
oh man, is my team replying to comments? I need to write that down.
there's actually a lot of people that follow you.
We do a
People
lot of like, I don't know if I get the followers organically or because I know my team members, we max out the amount of people we follow every day. We just like connect with like 30, 40 people. So maybe it's all from that or maybe we do get some organically. I'm not too sure. So I can't give too much credit there.
I'm literally saying that you have a common connection with someone that I used to work with. I don't know if you know them or not, but we'll have a talk about that later. Yeah.
I probably know.
Yeah, you probably, right. Anyway, what I'm saying is, back to what I was saying, LinkedIn doesn't really, it does have a feed, but not many people, like only some people, and like job status updates and all that, right? But like I was just sitting there, I'm like, why the fuck am I on Facebook right now? I'm not doing anything. I'm just looking through stupid shit. So I just deleted it. I just deleted that. I deleted LinkedIn. I still use Instagram because it's funny as sometimes. Like some of the reels on there are just hilarious. I have TikTok for the purposes of the Flipside podcast. Please, if you're listening, go and follow it right now. Just stop what you're doing and just go follow it right now. I have TikTok, but I don't use it. Right, I just use it to post and I close it because I know the minute that I start using it, it's game over. So I just use Instagram and Messenger to talk to people. And then, I just didn't want Facebook anymore. I was just sick of it. It's just shit.
Nice. And how do you feel after 7 days, 8 days?
I haven't wanted to go back and check. I haven't wanted to go back and check what's been said or what's been done. Like it's been good, you know what I mean? And I might check it later on just to be like, okay, yeah, it's been a while, but I don't expect to go back and have 50 million notifications. I don't get any notifications anyway. So I'm just like, what's the point? No point.
Quick question with Facebook. Is the newsfeed similar to like Instagram Explore feed where it's just a bunch of things people like and it's just sort of things that are relevant to what you see? Or is it back to the old days where it's just like what your family and friends post?
It's like what people in your friend circle, what they interact with, what you follow, and like family and stuff. I don't really have much family on Facebook anyway. So
because it's weird. People don't post photos because I would go on Facebook and people would have the same freaking profile photo since high school.
Oh yeah, I haven't changed my profile picture since year 12 formal.
People don't it's not like people don't post things on Facebook, do they anymore?
Barely. There's no point. Everyone just uses Instagram now. They're one and the same. Instagram's much more focused on the now in the sense that it's a platform that's unique, you know what I mean? So it's easier. And sometimes the posts that are on Instagram, some of the reels that I see are just hilarious, man. I want to send them to you all the time as well, but I'm like, his customer service team might be the ones doing that one. I don't want to see some. But I just deleted it. I just can't be bothered. It is what it is, and we move on.
That is amazing. Over the last, I'm in day 4 or maybe day 3 of quitting TV, movies, anything during dinner. So every day I used to, long day at work, dinner, finally be able to sit down, enjoy nice food and watch something to enjoy. Watch YouTube, watch some movie, but I just cut that out. And like the first day was just like, what am I doing? Like I'm just eating in silence, and it felt weird at night time, eating at 7 p.m. on my own in silence. But it's starting to get used to it. But my sort of hypothesis is because I would literally spend like 1 or 2 hours every night on YouTube listening to a podcast or watching a movie or watching 2-3 episodes of some show, and that's like an hour or two every night. And I was like, damn, like how much time am I going to free up if I just stop doing this? So I'm 3 days in. I don't know about the results yet, but I'll keep you guys updated next week. I'll let you guys know the gains.
That's something I can get behind. Because like usually sometimes I'll just have dinner with like mum or like dad, or just sit down and just go downstairs and just eat my dinner and just go back upstairs, or just do my own thing. I mean, it's something I can understand. Like I can understand also just having the news on in the background and just watching and listening to the news, because there's some crazy shit going on, but in the world, sorry, obviously all around the world. But yeah, like you can just sit there for ages and ages and just lose track of time. But as long as you're not staying up until like freaking 3 a.m. again anymore, that's the main thing.
I know, that was a tragic day. What was that series I was watching? I can't remember. It was Suits.
You're watching Suits. And I'm like, you could be watching anything else, but you're watching Suits. Are you watching anything right now?
Nothing. Only Rick and Morty. Watch 1 episode a week. That's about it. Quit sort of everything. Hopefully I could keep it that way. I was really contemplating downloading season 1 of Stranger Things, but nah, I know I'm going to get hooked. Just see the comments, how people say they wait freaking a whole year just to binge all 12 episodes in one day. I'm like, okay, that might be too much for me to handle. Like I'll get hooked in. I'll watch all 4 seasons in like 3 days and do nothing for 3 days straight. That might happen. So I can't
At least
touch
you
that.
understand that you have that issue with self-control when it comes to, you know, addictive series, because when you understand it, you allow yourself to like not be susceptible to, you know, getting sucked in. But at the same time, I do rate Stranger Things. I think it's a great series, but I don't rate it as much as everyone else raves about it. Like it's good, but I don't think it's like the best I've ever seen.
What's the best so far for you?
For me, the best TV series?
Or what's the top in your mind?
Office.
Oh, okay.
Hands down, Office is phenomenal. Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders is actually incredible as well. Game of Thrones was on there, but the last season of Game of Thrones is just complete trash. I'm just thinking, because now I'm like racking through my brain of all the TV serials that I've seen in the past, and I'm like, what was honestly like perfect? Like what was great? And I just don't really know. Like I don't like Friends. I don't like How I Met Your Mother.
How about anime?
I don't.
Top anime.
Naruto.
Yes.
Attack on Titan. Death Note. Done.
Nice.
Top 3, easy, bro. They're phenomenal. Like I get like there's the new gens are really good as well. But okay, what's your top 3 series that you've ever seen?
Oh, TV series.
You go top 3 TV series and top 3 anime.
Top of my mind, like I really enjoyed Billions. That's pretty cool. Like Game of Thrones was pretty good. Oh, Rick and Morty for sure, but I don't know if that counts as one. Rick and Morty's definitely there. Those are the ones that pop in my mind. Anime, Attack on Titan. Big fan of One Piece. Really love One Piece. And probably Naruto.
If you didn't say Naruto, I would have slapped you. It's the GOAT, bro. You know it's the GOAT as well. But Rick and Morty, bro, I don't know how the writers do it. The writers they're on some cook stuff when they do this. Like season 5 it's been alright so far. Like it hasn't been amazing. Like I didn't like the latest episode. Have you seen the latest one?
Yes. It was a canon episode.
Yeah, that was definitely canon. Yeah, I didn't like that one as much, but some of the ones that were in this season were just.
My favorite one was the clones. That was my favorite one.
Oh yeah, the clones one was like of the clone Ricks and stuff. Yeah, like I don't know how the writers do it. Like you think like they're not working off any source material. They're just pumping out these wickedly wild, crazy ideas, and you think it's one of those things where we talked about it before with The Simpsons, where The Simpsons like they've mapped out nearly every possible realistic scenario that could happen with, Trump becoming president and the protests and stuff. But Rick and Morty, it's just so creatively outrageous that they're obviously like, I'm just surprised I haven't had any duplicate ideas yet. They build on certain ideas, but they haven't duplicated it. It's just wild. Like, I just can't. I just don't.
Even how, like, in each episode, there's more than one thing. Like, for example, they might have a freaking cold open where they're, like, running around this alternate universe where there's a bunch of doors and ladders and many different things. And that's just one of the freaking 50 ideas they come up with. And don't you run out of ideas? Eventually, don't you cover every single thing that's done, and now someone come up with new ideas? Like damn.
That's the thing. That's my biggest thing with Rick and Morty, especially because they're not basing it on any realistic scenarios whatsoever. Like, it's just pure, like, our world, alien-like imagination. How do you keep generating ideas that stick like this, like that work? Like, how can they keep doing it? Those writers must be like, they must be on some shit, or they're just like working hard and behind the scenes. This is why we get like a 1 to 2 year break every season. But yeah, phenomenal series, phenomenal TV show. And yeah, like at the moment, I haven't been watching much, but yeah, like I definitely recommend Peaky Blinders if you do want to watch it. I think you'll like Peaky Blinders. It's great. It's a great series.
Yeah, watching I think I definitely has, based on what I see, it has that like sort of mafia. Like, I'm a big fan of Godfather. I love that series, and it has a bit of that vibe. I love all the like Goodfella type of movies. So,
dude, I haven't seen Godfather yet. I know it's bad. I need to watch it. I don't know why I haven't.
I've been watching these old movies, and they're slow. Like, it's crazy how like these movies nowadays, they're so fast paced. It's scene after scene after scene. But the movies back in the day were just so slow paced. It was just slow build up. Like, and you'll get this massive return near the end. That's something I've noticed that's changed in the movie industry.
Yeah, because nowadays what sells is your Marvels, your high action, high pace, SFX, CGI, just some non-stop crazy action. Like, the reason why Marvel does so well is they have those explosions and they're just, all this crazy shit going on at the same time. But you're right, like, if you watch an older picture, I watched an Alfred Hitchcock film, which I really enjoyed. I'm just trying to think of it. Rear Window by Alfred Hitchcock. That was a great movie. I really liked that movie. That was a great movie. But like, watching that compared to something recently, yeah, it's a really good movie. If you want to watch it, like, I definitely recommend it. It's a good movie. But yeah, like, it just makes you appreciate like how into the filmmaking and the cinematography they were back in the day, because they don't, like, I feel like it's kind of like a crutch where nowadays in cinema, like, you have all the CGI SFX. It's just so easy to, like, make a blockbuster film with just all this. That's why, like, Martin Scorsese or whatever, that director, came out and said Marvel is just shit for cinema. I can see what he means, but at the same time, it sells. You know what I mean? It definitely sells.
I agree. So, one thing that I've been recently starting to hear and get is the recession talk. The recession talk. This is something that my brain pulled back to old videos and old stories, how during the recession, everyone was just down and everyone was just like not happy. It was like pretty like a gloomy sort of point of view. And I'm starting to sort of feel it. Like, for example, I'm talking to my mum or my next door neighbor. And, it starts with how things, I say, things are pretty steady, which is like a good thing. We're growing, things are steady. And the reply is, well, that's okay. You don't have to push too hard. Like, everyone's getting hurt by the recession. Everyone's struggling. Just take this time to, like, relax. Like, everyone's feeling it, so you don't have to be too stressed. One, I didn't even say I was struggling or things are stressful. I don't know where that came from. Two, it's like everyone's saying the same thing. It creates this sort of this self-fulfilling prophecy where now everyone's going to start, and that's sort of how people get into a recession.
like you're saying there's like a psychological factor behind the recession in the sense that
On top.
with shit times.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. That does make sense. Does make sense. But yeah, continue.
So that was like one. I was like, what if I just like kept positive and just like kept scaling, kept pushing despite of whatever's happening? Would I be affected by the recession? Is recession this thing where it's just all mental? Obviously, I don't know because I haven't been through one. But that was something I was starting to say. I was like, wow, I didn't believe it. That like, you could tell people that you're doing amazing, and they would literally be like, yeah, like times are pretty tough now. You know, just sort of get what you can get and like don't try to push too hard. And in your mind, you're like, did you not listen to what I said? Things are doing well. Obviously, that doesn't happen. I don't tell people I'm doing well. I just say things are steady and I'm slowly growing things. But it's crazy how everyone's saying the same thing. It's yeah.
You can see what you mean, where it's a big mental thing as well, but at the same time, it's not. Like when you have lockdowns and the hospitality industry is literally on its knees again, it's like economic activity just immediately declines. I don't know what the percentage of GDP hospitality makes up in Australia. That would be interesting to find out. I see it's looking it up now, but it's definitely big. We have such a culture where everyone likes to go out and enjoy themselves and adventurous and like, you know, hanging out with friends, etc. Anyway, but at the same time, yeah, I can understand where like, you know, like you gotta have the good mindset, the right mindset, because if you allow yourself to just give in to those, then it's like, yeah, one of those things.
It was weird. Like I had some friends that they're in the construction industry, so they lost their job, and it sucks for them. Like they're not making any money, and they're telling me how it sucks, and I'm sympathizing and empathizing for them. And then they're like, you know, this is so unlucky. All these other people in office jobs, they're still making money. Like this is so unfair. And then I was like able to sympathize and empathize with them. But then I started thinking about it. It was like, maybe it's, you know how all the Asian parents or the ethnic parents, literally they've been repeating this for ages. Get a good job that would always survive. So no matter the economy, you'll always have a job. Study hard now. You'll have a better future. You have to worry about it. Whereas all the other chill people, their philosophy is like, you know, live while you're young. Time is important. Let's just have fun now and figure things later. And then my thought is, COVID's sort of like natural selection, where the people who put in the work, studied hard, now they're getting the fruits of their labor, where they're in a stable job where they don't have to worry about the future. Whereas all the people that chilled and they just have normal jobs that aren't essential, now they're struggling. And I guess there's consequences to everything you do. You can't have fun without any consequences.
100%. Like I'll put it down to also survival mentality of immigrant parents, being that coming to a new country, survive. You want the best for your kids. You want them to, you know, grow up having a good future. And how do you grow up having a good future? You study hard, you go to uni, and, you know, you get a degree and you get a job where you're right, it's sustainable and it's not like susceptible to like close with all these things going on. I don't know if I'd say natural selection. I can understand what you mean. I don't know if I'd call it that, but I would definitely say that it's the fruits of your hard labor and working hard and like doing it. And like, obviously not everyone, university, tertiary education, it's not for everyone, but at the same time, you look at everything around them. I bet these guys that are, you know, without a job and just, you know, dropped out of high school, went to get a trade because they didn't want to, you know, finish high school. I bet they wish they had extra qualifications, something else, or like, you know, they could have a different qualification or a certification in something else where they could easily just, you know, go into that. But at the same time, you know, having a trade is a qualification and it is something that they do. And it's not like they're not doing anything. It's not like they're just a waiter per se, or, you know, something like that doesn't require a qualification. Like, I bet you those people are like, you know, it's probably, you know, they're like, shit, maybe I should have, you know, pulled my socks up when they were young. But it's so hard in that situation for them to look into the future 10 years from now and then be like, oh shit, you know, you probably should, because you're young, you think you're untouchable, you're invincible, the world's at your feet, you know, hormone levels are going crazy, you know, you want to be that guy, you want to be the coolest person, or it's one of those things. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's sad, it's definitely really sad, but yeah, can't do much.
Now the next thing, I've realized that smart people save money. It's weird. I have this Mont Blanc pen. It's gold plated. It's the Maestro pen. It's like a pretty pricey pen. It's like, I don't know, like $500 or more for a pen, which is a bit crazy, a bit. And then, so to refill it, it costs for 2 refills, it's $25. It's like, whoa, okay, that's a lot. So I went on eBay to look for refills.
How often do you have to refill it?
Since I write every single day, I think I'll probably need to refill it. I haven't used this pen on a daily basis, but I think it'll probably be every like 3 months if you're using the pen every day.
That's not too bad. It's not too bad.
And then I was like, let's go on eBay. Search up the model, search up like the measured it. I was like, all right, I'll try find like a generic one. eBay was like $24 for 3. So okay, it got a bit cheaper, which is like cool. I was like, all right, at least I can go with this. And I went on AliExpress. First, I searched like Mont Blanc refills, couldn't find it, and I found that since it's like trademarked the type MB refills, and I'm starting to go recommend it, and I dig into this sort of rabbit hole, and I find some suppliers. $5.50 for 10 refills. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And I was feeling a bit cheap. I was like, it's ironic. I buy this expensive pen, yet I'm trying to find a good deal. I go to the reviews. Freaking everyone in the reviews say, yes, this fit my Mont Blanc pen. Here's a photo of my Mont. I'm like, holy shit, all these Mont Blanc pen owners, they're doing the exact same thing. And it's so ironic. And then I was thinking about it, it's like the rich people, they find smart ways to avoid tax, to apply for grants. Like, it's ironic how that's how the rich gets richer.
AliExpress is the GOAT. It is honestly the GOAT. I don't even blame you. Like when you're spending $500 on a pen, obviously its primary function is to be able to write and everything, right? You need ink for it. But at the same time, why would you spend $25 on 2 refills, right? And you say refill it 3 or 4 to 5 times a year. Say 4 times a year, $50 a year on refills. When you get $5, you can get 10. That covers you for 2 to 3 years. Bro, that's just economically beneficial for anyone in any circumstance. It's like when I was building my keyboard, there's some special types of keycaps, the things that you physically type on, the keys caps, right? There's a brand that makes them. They're called GMK. GMK release keycaps, and they're pretty, they're nice. And the one that I wanted, they sell for 167 AUD. Just the keys, just the caps, not even the switches. Whoa. Just like the color of the caps on top. 167 just for like a piece of plastic, that says 1, and then another piece of plastic says 2. For the whole thing, 167. I go on AliExpress, it's like $20, and there's like a clone. It's not the real thing, it's a clone. Well, how is someone going to tell a clone from the real thing? For me, clothing is completely separate. There's obviously design flaws and everything, but with something as notional as a keycap set for your keyboard, which is so easily to replicate and duplicate to look exactly the same, it's like you'd be stupid to not consider it at that point. Like, I can understand if you're one of those people like, oh no, I don't believe in fakes. But god damn it, like AliExpress, it's for the people. It is truly one of those things that are just for the people. I don't blame you. You bought it, right? You'd be stupid if you didn't buy it.
Yeah. And then I buy everything from AliExpress. Like, I bought this drain thing for like 40 cents. I buy pans. I buy everything. Things for my fish tank. Like, AliExpress is like so amazing. Yeah.
We'll title this episode "Our Love for AliExpress."
That's a good title.
We could honestly spend an entire episode talking about AliExpress, and because you're right, like when you use those websites like AliExpress, Taobao, and everything, generic searches that you would usually make on eBay, Amazon, or whatever, they won't work because you're right, like the trademarking and everything, they don't work. You got to spend like a good 10 to 15 minutes searching around with unique like words and characters and hits to get to where you want.
It feels
like when you told
mining for gold. When you find it, it's just so satisfying.
Like when you told me that like you spent 20 minutes searching for those specific, I'm like, yeah, dude, I completely understand. Like you don't even need to say anything more. Like, yeah, you find it and you're like, yeah.
And you save the link and you just use it forever for the rest of your life.
100%. Until like obviously something happens with the supply, you might need to find a new one. But like I wouldn't even like, okay, if it's 5 for 10, you could buy what, five of those for the same price as two, and you'd have 50. That's a lifetime, bro. 50 refills.
Dude, it was so cheap. I was wondering, like, if I should just like buy a bunch and just resell it on eBay Australia. Like, it's just, yeah, it's crazy. I might actually give that a try. Actually,
That's not a bad idea. You could sell it for like, say you buy it for 5, shipping and everything by the time it comes through, calculate the unit cost, and then upsell it, sell 2 for 10. Even then, you're still making an absolute killer because people just see that generic and go like, oh, half price. Like instead of buying 2 for 25, buy 2 for 10, and you got 50 more to go. You got 25 pairs of 10. What's that? $250 easily flipped, right? You know what I mean? Like, but it's one of those things. But yeah, goddamn AliExpress, the goat.
solid episode, Christian. We've hit that sweet spot. Really appreciate you doing this and accommodating and doing this on a Sunday. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really excited for the 1 year mark. Really appreciate for all the supporters. Like we checked the stats. Like there's like a group of 10 to 20 of you guys, 10 from like Anchor and like a few more from YouTube that really watch these every single week. So I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate all your support. Please send me a message. Let me know your thoughts. Send me a DM. But yeah, Christian, wrap it up.
As always, thank you guys so much. Like it has been a year since we first met and coined this opportunity, so it started off as something that we just wanted to do. It's very real now. Doesn't feel like a chore at all. Doesn't feel like a chore. And yeah, I'm very grateful. But episode 48, edging closer and closer to 52. Hopefully we keep growing. See you guys in the next episode 49. Appreciate it. Peace.